Great.
That
Yeah.
was excellent, Bradley. I didn't know that.
Good
I
one.
can't share that
Me
with
neither.
anyone. Anyway, here I am with Bradley Mitton of Vivanova, and many of you will know Vivanova. It's very well known across the Riviera. We're going to find out a bit more about it today and a bit more about Bradley. So, without any further ado, good morning, Bradley. How are you?
Morning, Mike. I'm great. Excellent. Great start to the week. Thank you.
Oh, well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Always a pleasure to see you. Anyway, let's get on with it and say, well, first of all, how did you end up on the Riviera?
Well, good question. I have been working on the Riviera for about 15 years. The first reason I came down, um, in fact, has nothing to do with the club. I had a contact in Australia who was trying to sell off a large volume of wines. And my job for him was at that time to look after Europe as a developing market for them. And it was a lot of wine. It was, I think, 5,000 bottles, and it was a special price. You know, when a winery moves vintage, they want to get rid of the last stock. And this was a lot of wine stuck in Rotterdam. And I spoke to a guy in Paris, and he had a company called Australian Kangaroo Wines or something. And he said, well, you need to speak to a friend of mine in Monaco. So I sold, eventually, to cut a long story short, I sold all the wine to the guy in Monaco, um, and carried on with the business, didn't think too much of it. 3 or 4 months later, the same winery came back to me and they said, well, look, we have some more stock to move. Could you help us? And I said, well, I can. So I called the guy in Monaco and I said, look, would you like another batch of wine? He said, you got to be joking me. He said, I haven't sold any of the wine that I bought off you in the first place. And I thought to myself, well, how can that be? Because it was a really great wine from Western Australia, very low price. Um, so basically I said to him, look, I've had a, a check on Google and I've seen what's around Monaco and I've seen that they've got SPM and they've got all the restaurants on Port Hercule and that it was very different then to what it is now with the restaurant scene. And I did a deal with him and I said, look, if you fly me down and accommodate me, I'll come down and I'll run an event with my club and we'll try and sell the wine. And so that's how I started my first trip to Monaco. I came down with that gentleman. I ran an event. Um, it was actually on Port Hercule at the place that Anna owned. I forget the name now. And after that, it was so successful that I just decided to keep on coming down. And the more that I came down, the more that I noticed that the region was looking for a club for international entrepreneurs to meet at. And Monaco was developing. And as I say, very different to what it is now. But that's how I started first coming down to the region, and then and then I moved because it made sense to be down here more. So I moved from Berlin to the Riviera to the Col de Vence. That's when I started my experience here.
Well, and I guess that's where we start the story of Vivanova.
Yes, well, it had been going in Northern Europe before then.
Oh,
We'd set it up in Berlin in 2002, but it was mainly a club to develop wine sales, to attract people to go to the places that we were selling our wine. And we did events in Berlin and Prague and Poland. But it was different in Monaco. There wasn't anybody else doing what we were doing with diverse wine dinners and New World wine education, bringing people together to an English-speaking club, which was quite interesting.
mm,
Um, and I think that because a lot of professionals end up moving to the French Riviera for many different reasons, they're always looking for something to to get into, to bond into, and that's what we developed. I think we've been running the events for yeah, I think well for 15 years now in the on
Wow.
the Riviera. Yeah.
But you make some very interesting contacts with restaurants. The sort of spread is quite amazing, and I like to view your choices as classy but not stuffy, and they're very beautifully integrated. How do you make the contacts with these restaurants? Do they approach you?
Yeah, occasionally they do, and I mean, that's when it all works for us. If someone contacts us and they want to run an event, we ask them to list our wines in the restaurant. But yeah, we have a very diverse group of locations that we work with. They have to really work. We've had some failure events where they've been a little bit difficult to manage in certain locations, but we had a call, probably a pretty good example of the success of what we do is we had a call from the owner of Avenue 31 in Monaco a couple of years ago. Very nice lady. The family works very hard running Avenue 31, Cafe Milano, and Salière together.
Oh, wow.
And she sort of said, look, we'd like you to do some events. We'd like you to run 2 or 3 events a year just to activate our brand a little bit to your uh, following, to the group that follows Club Vivanova and your members and your partners. And she said, what do you want for that? And I said, well, why don't you just put a couple of wines in the wine list? So it's win-win like that. So she gets the events. We run 3 or 4 a year. I get my wines in her wine list. I mean, neither of us make a fortune, but we have a great um, business model where we work together professionally. We do interesting, diverse events. And yes, we do work with some pretty other interesting places. We work quite closely with the Briatore group. He runs a very tight ship. He runs a very good um, restaurant group. The employees are extremely well trained and disciplined, and I like working with that group. The Pastor group, the Maya Bay group, is also a really good group to work with. So we tend to stay with them, and I think the reason we have that as you say, that group of restaurants, which is, we're not doing Michelin star stuff. We're not doing, cafe stuff. We're in a very much a middle area. Um, they're all highly international, so they also have, they're open-minded, the management. They have, for example, New Zealand wine by the glass. They're exactly as you say, they're not stuffy. They want to embrace development of, having new menus, new marketing, new promotion. We work together with the team on the ground, so there's lots of yeah, they're good restaurants to work with. I enjoy working with the team. More often than not, I don't actually join the event. I'm normally in the back in the kitchen with the chef, or I'm in the back with the service team saying, get that out there. This lady needs that. And, that's my background. My background is hospitality. So it's like going back to work. I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy working with the people.
That's obvious. You do an excellent job of it. Now let's talk about the crown, which is crown in more than one way, and that's your gala. What gave you the idea to do a gala?
Well, we set this one up 11 years ago because we were asked to put on a fashion show by a Monaco fashion brand. And at that time, we worked together with the Prince Albert Foundation. So we ran the gala with them for 3 years. And then we decided that we wanted to work with other local charities. So we worked with a couple of other local children and ocean and cancer charities. And the gala grew immensely. The year before, COVID, we had 450 people at the gala. It was just, it was almost unmanageable because you couldn't see the people at the end of the room. It was just, I think you might have been
I
at
was
that
at one of
at
those
that
for
one.
sure. Yep.
Yeah. And then of course COVID hit, and
Hmm.
I think that we were the only gala in the whole of Europe that happened. We did it, with 80 people, 4 people per table, masks, no dancing, no standing. And in fact, we moved that year because we postponed it from April to June, and then June to September, and then September to the first week of December. And COVID was going nowhere. And I remember I talked to the Fairmont general manager, and I said, we have to put this on. And he said, well, let's do it at lunchtime. Let's do a lunchtime gala. So we did it at lunchtime. And it was
Wow.
just, it was ridiculous. But, we did it, we committed to it. Since then, after COVID, the numbers are back up to about 300 per event. But one thing that we've seen a big change is the costs to put something on these days has gone way up, but it's with everything in life. And so we've had to put the tickets up, but we have very good entertainment. And this is the third year that we'll be running the event with Princess Stephanie.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, yeah, she's a really amazing lady, very, very down to earth, lovely, peaceful person. And we run the event for her two charities, Fight AIDS and Écoute Cancer Réconfort.
Oh,
The most amazing thing is that we do the fashion show with her daughter, Pauline Ducrouet.
oh,
Pauline does the fashion show, and there's 20 models. 10 of them are cancer victims, and 10 of them are HIV positive, and they all come together and they do the fashion show, and it's so emotional. I mean, the whole place cries.
that,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
last year
advertise that too much.
it was just no, but it was just fantastic. The
That
feeling,
is amazing.
I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
Last year we had the last model that came out. She had this beautiful leather dress on and very proud, walking through the ballroom in front of the princess, 300 guests, beautiful long blonde hair. And then the show came to a finish, and she took the wig off, and she had, she was bald from her cancer treatment. Just immense, amazing. Because normally these events they put on the models from Paris and the models from Milan, but we're not doing that. This is a real no nonsense, down to earth, beautiful charitable event that I'm really proud of doing. We raise money every year for charity. We work for the whole year to put it together, and we're now 19 days out.
Wow. That's a lot of work to look forward to as well, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah. We've kind of got it worked out, and I have to. It's not just a great privilege working with the princess, but also with her team, and also with the Fairmont. The Fairmont, we have an incredible relationship with the hotel.
It's a great venue, absolutely great
Yeah,
venue.
yeah, and I feel like family in there. It's just they are. We've got such a good relationship going. They're
Now,
key to the success of what we do.
entertainment wise, you have people like Alexandra Miller.
Yes, yeah, she's very difficult to get hold of, and she's amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, she swoons everybody. Beautiful voice.
I know
I
her
think
aunt.
yeah, I think she's half Irish, half French, isn't she?
Yeah, she was came number two in The Voice or something, or she won The Voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
She's not just a fantastic artist, but she's a really beautiful person.
Hmm.
Really
Class act.
great.
Well, it fits in perfectly with what you do at the gala. Now,
Yes.
what sort of, let's go back just to Vivanova and the gala. What sort of person do you think would really like to be part of Vivanova? Have you got a type?
Well, I think the club generally, someone who wants to socialize in a comfortable environment, talk to new people, um, learn about new food and new wines. Um, that's generally what we catered to, but we now opened up the club in Monaco. So we've got an office in Monaco,
Oh,
and
what?
what happened sort of 4 or 5 years ago, just before COVID, but even more after COVID, is that we found that companies want to use our events as a platform. So they'll come to the event and they'll bring their, their company details, their company portfolios, or their fashion outfits, or glasses, or whatever the product
Yeah.
is. And we started to take on partnerships in the club. So a business can join the club. That business would probably want to activate to the local Monaco area.
Uh-huh.
And for that partnership, they come to the event and they can then activate themselves to the group. Of course, the big event that we do for that is the gala, but the gala is quite a social night. We do a business mixer during the Monaco Yacht Show. That's all about business networking. So we really push people to get up, pass business cards on.
Mm.
We had a full event this year for the Yacht Show. It was
Uh,
really dynamic. We partnered with Barclays in Monaco, and so they sent bankers, and then we had other financial houses that turned up. We had people from all over the place, from the UK, from Eastern Europe, from America. Because the yacht show attracts them all. But when they're in Monaco, they want to do some serious networking. They don't just want to go around drinking wine at cocktails. They want to sit down and talk to someone, and we try to bring all those people together. We work very hard at making the events win-win, so that you're going to walk away with something, that you've met someone. It's really important.
that's really
We
cool. That's a good ethic. But the
yeah.
normal events that aren't outside the yacht show and things like that are really very, very social, aren't they? It's not a hard
Yes.
sell, it's a soft
No,
sell,
no.
like if anything.
No, we don't hard sell anything. No,
Uh,
we just work at being international. We work at being open-minded. We always try to offer really good value
uh-huh.
at the events. So, you're getting excellent. We work very hard on the menus with the chefs. We work very hard on the wines that get paired with the menus. Um, and we have a lot of interesting things coming on. So in November we do a couple of Barolo events, because it's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
albitruffle season. So we do a Barolo wine event in Avenue 31, and then we take a group of people to Barolo to go wine drinking and dog hunting and
Wow.
uh, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's quite diverse. I think a lot of the events are it's a bit of a calculated risk, because you've got to just trust that you're putting the right thing together at the right price to attract people. And we've never had a failed event. We've never had to cancel ever.
But
Not one.
oh, but the events are always nicely priced, and what you get for it is value for it. In my
Yes,
opinion, that's my opinion.
yes, yes, yeah. I think that you're right. Yes, and we do. Um, yeah, we just to have a dinner in Monaco for 120, €150, including wine, organized around a club where you know that you're not going to have to do anything except for turn up, and you're going to have other people around you that are also open-minded to talk, because everybody knows that you're coming to a club. You're not coming to book your own private table. So no, I think it works well. Yeah, we just try our best to treat everybody on a level playing field, let everybody enjoy themselves, um, and yeah, make it win-win for everybody. It has to also be win-win for the outlet,
Yeah,
so we want them to get the right people coming in. The Fairmont love us because we bring all sorts of different people through their doors.
you do. You do. Anyway, how can people find out more about Club Viva Nova? What's the best way? Is there a newsletter? How do
Yeah, we have a website. It's Vivanova, so it's just one word. The words actually were taken from Latin New Life when it was first set up, the club. Just like, development of yourself. And we have a website, and through that website, you can click through to all of the events, and you can click through to the events that we're doing for the gala. We've got a Christmas event at Maya Bay on the 10th of December. In fact, this weekend we've got events in Thailand.
in where?
In Thailand,
Wow,
we've
that's a long
started
bus
to
ride.
started to run events through Dubai, into Bangkok and Hua Hin.
Wow, that is quite an adventure. Wow.
Yes,
You're one heck of an entrepreneur, I'll say that for you.
thank
You
you.
know
Well,
your
we're,
business very
we're just
well.
trying. The Thai wine market is really starting to develop, and there's a lot of demand there for wine knowledge, wine appreciation, wine tasting. So we're partnering there with a wine and events company, and we're actually going to be developing the wines that we have here into that market.
Amazing.
So we're
Amazing. Well, I think our time is nearly up, Bradley. I could talk to you all day.
pushing.
So I think it's
Yes,
totally fascinating. And
thanks.
I'd encourage
Let you say very
anybody
much.
to check out your events because I think they- they're different, they're special, and you get to go some very nice places and meet some lovely people. The people are
Yes, that's
really
right.
nice. That's the other aspect, and I can't stress how nice the people are who go to these events. They're very nice and they communicate. So
Yeah, we have different,
congratulations.
and we have different people at every event. The events are so diverse with such different price points. We get everybody coming. We work very closely with the International University of Monaco as well. So we develop, we help their students develop their networking skills. We invite them to the events.
Oh,
So
really good idea.
I'm lecturing there tomorrow actually, and
Wow.
then from that we just say to them, we give them special prices because I think sometimes, when you've got regular events going on in Monaco, you do get a regular group of people coming, and there's nothing better than a new group of young people who might want to ask you all sorts of questions about, what do you do? How did you start your business? It's refreshing. And they're all looking for work. They're looking for internships. So we've helped a lot of students really, really develop. It's a big part of what we do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And your son's with you in the business.
Yes, he is. Yeah, well, he's in Berlin at the moment, helping with the wine side of it. But yeah, he's a very big part of how we've developed.
Well, it shows you know how to
Thank
encourage
you.
young people and have them work with you, which I think is
Yeah,
a great talent.
yeah, it's very important.
Very important. Well, it comes for me to say thank you so much, Bradley. And
Thank you,
every
Mike.
success, well, not that you need to be wished every success, but every
Well,
success with your gala and your continued events. And I encourage everybody to actually look at your site and see if it's for them because it's fascinating. So, from me to you, thank you, Bradley. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
and thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Very
Oh,
kind.
total pleasure. Now, what we have to do is keep fixed smiles while I try and find the off button.